Alrighty guys, I'm Casey and welcome to a brand new episode of this Tribal States SMP. Guys, if you missed the last episode, we found a skeleton spawner. We then transitioned it into a mob farm where we are now producing arrows and bones. And as the Tribal States SMP is all about storytelling, lore and immersion, we are using this to ship the product out and bring in revenue for our villagers and our village, which sits in the background there. Now, let's get into what I did between episodes. I went to the Nether on a live stream. You can check out that live stream. It is still on my channel. And I got myself 2 wither skeleton skulls, which was fantastic. Now, the quality of that stream is a little bit degraded. I do apologize, but there's nothing I can do about it now. Next stream will be better. That brings me to one valid point, guys. Minecraft Mondays. Every Monday, I'll be streaming from this server from 12 till about 3 o'clock UK time, give or take a few minutes. Now, let's get in to what I want to do in this episode. You see, we've got this massive beach on this side of our land. And this sea overlooks our other players. It overlooks my wife and my mate who are also playing on this server. And I thought it would be nice to add in some docks where we can put some merchant ships and allow trade to begin between the 3 different nations. That's my plan for this episode. I'm hoping it's going to go according to plan. So if that's something you think you're going to enjoy, guys, do me a favor. Leave the video a like. Hit subscribe and follow me on all my social medias. The links are down below. And without any further ado, let's get into the episode. So this is the pier in question. This is where I want to build the dock. And I do kind of somewhat want to work with the shape that we've got here. I definitely want it to feel very alive and very rich and very modern. We are going to be turning this village into a massive city that is going to span this entire desert island that we've got right here. I want it to be very big, very grand, and be one of the biggest worlds I've ever done in Minecraft. Now, to do that, we are going to need a sizable merchants area. And like I said, I want at least 3 boats to be able to dock here, but I'm hoping that we'll get 5. And like I said, I do want to work with the lay of the land. So I think the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm just going to trim off the edges and just get some flat sides going, so we've got some flat straight lines to work with. So there's the cliff face. It's looking really good and really dandy, isn't it? We've got a nice little sharp edge. Now obviously this is quite sharp and quite rough, but I just wanted a straight line to work with. Now this is somewhat off the ground, so if we come out here, you can see it's actually several blocks in the air. Now we could totally take the dock off of here, but I don't want to take the dock off from this height. I actually want it to be a bit lower down and only a few blocks, or maybe 2 or 3 blocks above the water. I don't want it to be too far, but I want us to have different layers going up. And that'll all come together as the dock sort of takes form. But the first thing that I want to do is I want to start deciding just about sort of where these docks are going to go. So I think we're going to leave about a good 7 block gap, I think. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 block there. And then we'll start the first dock roughly in the middle-ish. Maybe about, it doesn't have to be exactly in the middle. Maybe about here. So if we go, what are we going from here? So to be there. And then I want to have these docks to be 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. And up like so. Now you can see this is kind of the size of the dock. Now I obviously need to get some more pillars put in place so I can get an idea of just how spaced out these are going to be. So I've got all of the basic template in place so we can see how the docks are going to look and how they're going to be spaced apart. And this is my first time looking at it. We're going up, we're going to have a look, we're going to see how it looks and see if I like it. And then I'm going to start putting in the actual wood. So you can see there the little dock portals. We're going to have a boat docked here, a boat docked here, a boat docked here, and a boat docked here, and a boat docked here. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 boats that we can have docked, which is really, really dandy. And then it's going to wrap around here like so. And this is only the first stage. I want it to go up another level and up another level and up another level. Well, I haven't decided how many levels, but I know I want it to go up quite a couple of levels. This is only the first level. So now I'm going to get in the wooden planks all the way to, I think, maybe just here. I don't know if I'm going to take it out that far yet. I may do, I may not. I'm running low on dark oak planks, but I'm planning to use jungle wood for the dock, because it looks like a very wet wood in my opinion. like wood has gotten wet. So I really do like it. I'm going to mix in a little bit of oak to see, because that oak like kind of reminds me of wood that's dried out when you pair it with jungle wood. So I think it looks really good as a dock. A few blocks later, and this is what we've come up with. This is the shape of the dock. This is also the piers that are going to go out from it. We've got 6, enough for docking of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ships. We could possibly, even if we wanted to, dock 1 there for 6. And we would be able to dock 1 that side. But I do overall like the way that this goes. It feels very city-like with it being straight lines and not as rugged or as jagged. But I didn't want to have one big straight line. That's why I've done 3 out here and 3 there. I didn't even intend for there to be 3 on each. It just happened to fit out that way. Now walking along the pier, it is very nice down here. I do like it, especially when we're looking out this way. It feels very, very nice. And I have taken the dark oak down all the way as far as it can go. It's taken me a lot of dark oak to do this. But overall, it's done. Now, there are other things that I want to do. I want to bring a railing across here. I also want to have maybe even bring these up a little bit more. There's a lot more that I want to do to this pier and this wooden dock. But I need some other resources. I need some more dark oak. I also need some stone, and not regular stone. I want smooth stone because I've got a cool idea. And a bit of oak wood, a bit of other resources. So I'm going to get an auto smelter set up. Very quick and basic one. The very simplest one that you can build. I'm going to set that up there just to smelt down some stone. And while that does, I want to start working on this wall right here. This wall and how this wall is going to look. So like I said, the next bit that I want to work on is this bit sort of right here where the wall connects with this wall. And whenever you're doing a big project like this, I find it important to keep it very universal, something that is easily repeatable, something that isn't going to take you forever and a day to do. And for us, it's just going to be a simple case of adding in some deep slate back here. And why does that one look slightly different to the rest? That one is distinctly different, but yet it's all deep slate. So like I said, I want to keep something that we can very easily repeat. And for me, this is going to be a very simple archway like so. Now I'm going to need some more jungle wood to fill in to come back here. But as you can see, it's a very simple archway. It looks really, really good. And I'm going to take it a step further. You see, I'm going to take these here and I'll put the polished black stone right here. And then on the polished black stone, I'm going to put some of these trap doors. And I'm doing this just to add in a little bit of color. It does mean that I need to go and mine a bit more of this. But as you can see, that itself makes it look a little bit more interesting. We could even go one further and change these out. So I changed things up a little bit. And I've got to say, I do quite like this. I think what we're going to do is we're obviously going to have another level up there. But that's yet to be done. So I think I'm going to continue this basic pattern around here. Now, this is not going to be the final product, guys. I am going to find words that actually work and make sense. That's what I'm going to do. That would absolutely be fantastic if I could find words that make sense. Is this like cobbled deep slate? This doesn't... Wait, I'm down here. Nope, definitely just regular deep slate, but it does look slightly different. But anyway, like I said, I'm going to continue this pattern all the way along this shore dock. And as I was saying before when I was trying to find words, this isn't going to be the final product. I am going to hollow out little caves in here and put the things in that we get from the ships. So when we meet up with the other players on the server, my wife and my mate, and we dock one of their ships here, because I plan to put a ship from each of their kingdoms in one of these bays, I will litter the dock with resources. But right now it needs to be empty because we're only just building it. And story-wise, it wouldn't make sense to put all those things there when we haven't even reached trade agreement yet. The space would be ready and we'd hollow it out as and when needed. And I may even just hollow a couple out while I'm doing this dock, just to make it feel a little bit more alive. But I'm going to get to it. It's taken me a little bit of time, guys, but I've got some more work done on the dock that I want to show off. And it's starting to really feel like a dock. If we turn around here, you can see this is what I've gone with. That one looks like it's a block lower down than this one actually looks. But I promise you, it's not. It's just because the wall juts back. So we'll take a nice little stroll along the docks. And it's starting to really feel like a dock over here, like a little port for merchants to come in. And we've got two different staircases. We've got the 4 wide one, which is here, These are your sub staircases, if you will, not your main ones. This is actually the main staircase right here. As you can see, it's a little bit different. This one I've tried to put in the central of the dock, of where the city entrance is going to go. So this one is going to meet up with where the entrance to the city goes. But for right now, we're not worrying about the entrance to the city. We're not even going to worry about how far we're going to take this back. All we're worrying about is the next layer, because this is also going to go up another layer. And I'm going to shift from this design to a very different design. Now, the only thing that I don't like are these. I like them as a design idea, but I don't like them as a palette choice. I think we need to put something else there, but I'm not entirely certain what to put there just yet. We might use some stone brick. I don't know. I'll try a couple of different ones out between clips. But the next thing that I really need to focus on is sort of how I am going to be blending this area with this area in terms of this edge right here. I got a question for you guys. Why does this hurt, but this does not? There's a saw in my foot in half, and I'm not taking a single heart of damage. Get a tiny little pinky burn from the fire, and I'm on fire. Minecraft makes no sense sometimes. This is the design that I've decided to go with. Oh, would you look at that? I accidentally forgot to take out a couple of these fence posts. Hello, goodbye. You sir, too, sir? Welcome to the grave. So I've tried to keep it fairly simple. We've gone with this stone on the outside and the cobble and andesite mix on the inside. Now I'm going to leave this space mostly open. I'm actually not going to put anything here today, although what we are going to have here is market stalls. As my kingdom starts to produce more and more resources, I'll set up a market stall on here where people can come and buy those resources and purchase them using their diamonds or resources that I want. Again, remember guys, this is a very story heavy series, so it wouldn't make sense for the building of this dock to be littered with stuff. They would come as time progresses within the village. Sort of like maybe we do a fishing boat and then we can start putting fishing barrels along the bay that have little fish in them. It's something I want to do, but I need spruce trap doors for that. I want to have little fishers from the sea. We got plenty of them roaming around, even a Nemo out there somewhere. I want to put them in barrels, but I think to do that we need to build a fishing boat to make it sort of fit with the lore and the series. So yeah, I also wanted the pathways going into the city itself to be different from the rest of the area. So we've got this nice little design right here that I think goes really, really well. Now it comes to wanting to do the back end right here. And for this, I'm going to be using tuff. I want to do it all out of tuff with some basalt sort of lining it has. With down here we used this deep slate and blackstone. Up here I want to change that a little bit. I want to use this tuff and I want to use some basalt. So I'm just going to get a little bit of this done so you guys can get an idea. As for this area right here that sort of wraps around this dock right here, we're not going to worry about this in this episode. This bit is going to be done in the next episode. This is going to be a storage house. I want to have access to it from down here on the dock, but I also want to have access to it from up there. But that's going to be later on. Right now I'm focusing primarily on these bits right here. You know, I've been really enjoying building this dock. Let me show you what we've got so far. This is the work in progress. And I do really kind of like it. It's got that very city-heavy feel to it. Now, these copper blocks are a little bit bold and striking, but I didn't like the blackstone that we had there. These will eventually oxidize and turn a bluey color or a bluey greeny color, and I think that'll merge quite well with what we've got. But we won't know until they oxidize, and it's going to take them some time to do. But I think in the meantime, it'll also add to the sort of atmosphere of the dock, that we'll slowly see these oxidize over time, and I think we'll like that. We like the salty sea air is causing that. Now, as we come up here, guys, I've changed the lanterns for lighting up here. I don't know exactly if these ones are lit. No, these ones don't actually get enough light here in the middle. But what we're going to do is we're going to have sort of market kiosks dotted about the place up here, and they'll have lights on them and they will light it up. But not right now, we don't have those kiosks. And we'll talk about my plans for the stock in just a minute. But I wanted to show off this design. Now, these walls here where it hasn't been designed, they're going to go up to where the city is going to start. But I'm also thinking of perhaps knocking out a couple of these sections and having a underground market. I'm not entirely certain on that one yet, but I'm open to all options at this point. Now, let's talk about my plans for this dock. So we're up here in the sky. We can see the shipyard, and it looks really, really good. Or the dock, should I say, not the shipyard. Now, this is the merchant dock. This is where the merchants will dock, and the plan is very, very simple. When we meet up with the other two, we'll establish some sort of trade agreement, and that'll bring in resources from their kingdoms. What that will do is it will dock a ship from their kingdom in one of these ports right here. We've got room for 6 ships, I believe. I mean, we could probably make 7, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, we've got room for 6. We can dock 6 ships on this dock, so we can add a couple of those. Now, when we get those, I'm going to fill the dock with things that we need. Remember, guys, this is a very story-heavy series. So right now, we don't have any trade agreements, and we're not really struggling. But in the future, we will be. When we get more trade agreements in place and more ships are docking, I will probably build a crane. I'm thinking over there, maybe put one there, maybe even put one in the water on its own platform to help bring things out of the ships. But again, I want to build them as the story demands it, not right now. And another thing that I want to do is up here where you see this cobblestone and andesite mix, is I want to put some market kiosks. The idea being that the ships will come in, they will dock in the port, they will then bring their goods up, they can rent out a kiosk and sell them to the villagers. That's one thing that I want to do. I can also put in various things that I offer for trade as well. I think that'll be really, really, really good. And it'll just look and help bring the village more alive. Now, there's a couple of sandstone bits that I do need to fill in, like over there. But for overall, the dock is looking really, really good. Now, the city is going to be at this level here, where the top of that wall is. That's where the city level is going to be. So I don't actually have to clear out much. It's just a case of placing blocks. So, what about the two sides? Because it does kind of just begin and end nowhere. Well, on this side, I want to put a storage warehouse. That's probably going to be in the next couple of episodes. And I want to kind of not make it similar to the dock, but I also want it to merge with the dock. So I want it to look like it's a part of the dock without actually looking like it's a part of the dock. And then over that side, I think I'm going to put in a tower of some sort to hook up to our mob farm, because our mob farm is just right there. Our skeleton farm is just right there. So maybe we could do something there, or maybe I want to bring that dock further around, or we could put a lighthouse there. I think a lighthouse over on that side might actually be really, really good. Actually, now I'm thinking about that, we will probably put a lighthouse over there. Yeah, I like that idea. I like that idea a lot, actually. Oh, maybe that'll be in the next episode or two. But yeah, as for now, I just need to go ahead and do some little detail bits. Again, I'm not going to be doing too much detail bits. I'm not going to be putting in the market kiosks, and I'm not going to be putting in the fish barrels. I'm also not going to put in merchant things or boats yet, because we don't have a storyline reason for them. So let me get some more work done on this dock, and hopefully it looks better when I'm done. There we go. The pier is finished. Some of these are starting to oxidize already, and they look really, really good. I like the fact that they're going to be mixed matched for a bit. It's going to really play into the story. I do definitely like it, and I'm really happy with how this dock has turned out. I know it's very empty and very open at the minute, guys, but it's story. Like I said, we will fill this up as the story demands it. Right now, it's just a dock that's being built. We still have some of the story left to fill this in with, and I want to keep this series very story heavy. Now, there's one last thing that I want to do in this episode, and I want to corner the market in spruce wood, because none of us have any spruce trees anywhere near us, and they're one of the most versatile woods within Minecraft. So, I've got my boat somewhere. There's my boat, look. It's a small boat. I've got my boat. I'm going to head out behind me, and I'm going to see what I can find. I'm sorry. I can't resist. Villager outpost. Just what I wanted to see. With 4 carrots. Can we, like, sneak in there really quickly and see what's in the chest? My tower, mine, mine, mine. And the loot is... Okay, got some carrots. Bottles of enchanted. Oh, we got a crossbow. I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that. I shall use the dark oak wood. Make a boat. I think I got turned around. This is not the way I intended to go. Back to the boat. Oh, look. It's my other boat. This is cool, but it's not what I want. Well, this is awesome. One right there and one right there on the surface nonetheless, but still not spruce wood. Not spruce wood. Not spruce wood. A bush. Trees on top of a hill. A new biome, but still no spruce wood. I should take my frustration out on the chicken. A village! Dibs, dibs, double dib, double dibs, and you've guessed it, dibs too. Dibs, bet your bottom dollar. Dibs, a fat spruce! So there it is, guys. The dock has been built, and this has taken me 3 days worth of my free time to do. Can't believe it. Just coming up with the design, mining the resources, all of it. It's taken me a lot longer than I anticipated it would do, but it looks really, really nice, and I'm really, really happy with it. And I can't wait till we start to get in the buildings on either side. I think once we do that, it's going to look absolutely amazing. The copper is oxidizing and it looks brilliant now it's done. I really like that one there, the one above my head. I really like that shade. I think it looks really, really good. But yeah, I like the oxidized copper as well. I don't get why people put the blocks of this down and just let it oxidize and then build with it. Like, they're going to oxidize at some point. You might as well just leave them once you've built them and they'll oxidize over time. I suppose creators want that for their thumbnails, so maybe that's the reason. For me, I'm more than happy to just let it oxidize for a bit. I'll grab the thumbnail for this a little bit later on. But guys, that is going to do it for this episode. If you enjoyed the video, guys, do me a favor. Leave it a like and hit subscribe. And as always, I'm KC. You're the awesome folks. Thanks so much for watching. Take care now. Bye.